Well, here we are. Welcome, Debz Cooper, global stressologist, here to talk about how to ground yourself before you get slammed. Now, this is one that has come about from my clients this week, actually, who started talking about this. So I would love you to give me a holler. Let me know if you're on the call, if you're a replay or not. So welcome. Thanks for joining me. So how to ground yourself before getting slammed comes in two parts. So first, I'd just like to talk about what is actually a grounding from my perception and what is a slamming. So what is a grounding is when you are feeling, I call it when you're feeling complete, when you're feeling whole, when you're feeling one, where you're feeling in touch with yourself. You're not worried about the past and you're not worried about the future. And it's really when you are present. And a grounding is when you just ground yourself. So it's when you are guilt or shame free, if I could do it. The feeling would be that you actually have no attachment to what's going on around you. You're just present and you're breathing and you are whole, if I was to ultimately say that. It's about to pour down, so fingers crossed this doesn't get very loud. So when I talk about grounding and I talk about those things when you're feeling complete and you're feeling whole and you're feeling one, can you actually feel that yourself now? Because this is actually realistic to being, but actually it's realistic that you can achieve this. So when I say these things, don't go, oh, you can't do this, you can't get that. It's not about that. So feel that feeling right now of how much amazing that would be, because it is totally realistic. So that's about grounding. And so when I say what is a slamming is, I call it an elation before your deflation. When you are high as a kite, and you're flying high on all aspects of everything, and you get slammed and you come down, and it's like the dog kicks you, and there's another thing that happens, and then another thing that happens, and then another thing, and you're just like, come on, give me a break, everyone be nice to me, or whatever you actually say to yourself. So that's a slamming, when you just get slammed and slammed and slammed and slammed. It's like putting your finger in the door, bang, bang, bang. It's another one, and it's another one that's just kicking you as you're down as such. So when I talk about the elation before the deflation, when you think of top sports people, they don't go into events where they swing their attitude like, I'm going to blitz this. All the other competitions are competitors are poo. They don't know anything that's coming on. They know jack shite. I'm going to get this. I'm going to nail this 100%. And so, well, there are a few top sports people who do that, but most top sports people don't go to an event with that attitude. And that's the elation before your deflation. So before a speaking event, before I speak, any event or anything like that, I find gratitude and I sit present and I do these grounding things because it just keeps me humble, present, poised, and focused on what my intention is for getting my message out there, rather than coming and going, I'm going to nail this, I'm going to get this right, I'm going to get this, I'm going to have amazing clients, I'm going to get all this stuff from it. That's not what it's about. So when you think about those times when you get that slamming, go back to what was going on in your mind before you got that slam. What was going on that you were being slammed for over and over and over again? And your finger's in the door. And it's again, and then it's again, and then you just start picking yourself up, and then another slam comes along. So when you think about those things, so that's a little bit about grounding and a little bit about slamming. So let me tell you how to be grounded and how I tell people and how I do this myself. Sometimes I get the slamming, so don't think we're all perfect out there. So first is when you realize that the wobbles have happened, and the wobbles are extreme and they come from nowhere sometimes, when you think you're having a great day and a wobble comes and knocks you off your feet. So when you feel that happening, put your phone away, Put your phone away, put it on silent, anything, not necessarily vibrate, but just put it away and just take a deep breath. So put it away, take a deep breath, because this is about you and what's best for you at this time. And they talk about filling your cup up, you know, and I put a thing on Instagram last night. It was actually about not filling, is your cup half full or is it full or half empty, or I don't even know the saying, but actually be grateful you've got the cup. That's exactly it. So put the phone away, just sit present for a moment. Then ask yourself, what brings you spark or joy or fulfillment, or what warms your heart? So you're planting that seed, and you may go, I have no idea. Right now I'm peeved off with my ex for doing this. Right now I'm frustrated with the dogs. Right now I'm frustrated with the family members. Right now so-and-so is getting a bigger pay rise than me at work. Whatever's going on. So you may not be able to answer that right now. And if you're in turmoil, I can guarantee you won't be able to answer it. So while you're wobbling, you actually can't take control of a lot of things. It's just about getting present and stopping and pausing. So when I talk about what brings you your spark or joy, I'm not talking about what gives you that hyper joy, you know, that going out and partying and dancing on the rooftops. What brings you that spark or joy? What brings you that spark or joy that's inside of you? Where do you get that fulfillment that sits whole? So these are the steps that I've laid out for my clients and myself to help me get grounded when the wobbles really hit. So think of your space. What is your environment around you, wherever you are? Think of your space, your environment, your freshness of air. Now, I know there's outside space, and I'm clearly sitting outside, which just had a little rain before. So we had some outside space, and it's called fresh air. Fresh air. Now, it's not cold. I mean, it's cold. It's not warm where I'm sitting right now, and it's as the sun comes out. I love that. That just makes me giggle. So quite often I'll sit outside and I'll write something with a blanket on me or heating around me or something like this, and I'll sit outside and just take in that fresh air and feel something very different. So go outside and lay down in the grass if there's no dog poop around. Walk on the ground, feel the earth between your feet, which is a saying that we've all had from, well, I've had from growing up. You know, feel that grounding. So whether that is walking down on the grass, walking on the stones, walking anywhere, even just sitting, standing, any of that stuff, and be grateful for that you can feel that. Be grateful that you can lie in the grass and lay there, or be grateful that you can see the grass and you're standing on timber, any of those things. So find your space and environment that feels right for you. And it's important to have, you know, even if you have a chair that you sit in and read a book or just zone out or scroll on social media or anything like that, find that space that gives you wholeness and complete. So the other thing is to ground yourself is your nutrition. And when I talk about your nutrition, that also comes into your space environment, but it talks about what you drink, what you eat, what you put into your mouth, and what comes in and out of your mouth. So when I talk about your nutrition, you know, eat the lovely foods that are healthy for you. Now, some people don't like meat. Some people like meat. Eat what sits right for your body. Some people don't, gluten-free. Some people eat gluten. So eat what's right for you that makes you feel healthy and alive and not sluggish and heavy. So keep the water bottle. I'm forever got my water bottle handy around me and forever filling it up. So when I talk about what goes in and out of your mouth, I'd also like you to be aware of your words. So when I talk about your words, I talk about the words you say to yourself and the words you say to others and what they say to you. So this is really important to think of what you feed your mouth with verbally, because it goes into your brain of what you're saying to yourself. So if you wake up and say, I'm going to have a fabulous day, you're more likely to have a fabulous day than I'm going to have a poo day, I've got a yucky job on. And already right from that moment before you even get out of bed, you're stomping your feet, you're lethargic, you're heavy, your shoulders are down, and you are going to have a poo day. I can guarantee that. So when you think about those, what are those beautiful words you say to yourself that keeps you ticking along? So say those things to yourself. You know, quite often I say to people when they say, oh, I'm saying this, this, and this, and I go, would you say that to somebody else? No way, I'd never say that. So then why say it to yourself? Because you are so, so, so important, more important than anyone else in this world. So be gentle to yourself, be kind to yourself, say those loving words to yourself. Be aware of your feelings. Now, when I talk about your feelings will come up, so don't shut them down. There's a reason it's happening, so feel your body with whatever feelings are going on. If you have that elation, feel that. If you have that deflation, feel that. If you feel like things are going swimmingly along, feel that as well. Just checking some messages. Feel that. So don't shut those feelings down. Feel, oh, this doesn't feel comfortable for me. That's beautiful because it allows you to go, what can I do that makes me feel comfortable? What can I change? What do I need to change? So feel it, but don't shut it down. This is an interesting one because we've got some people, you know, with what's going on in the world who are in isolation, lockdown. So grieve and cry. Grieve and cry to what's happening around you, to what has happened in the past. Let it go, because your life right here, right now, on this day that you're watching this, has changed to what it was 24 hours ago, has changed to what it was 6 hours ago, has changed to what it was 3 days ago, a month ago, 6 months ago. You are not going to get that life back, but you can improve what you have here right now if you learn to love it and take that step. So grieve, let it go. This is all about you rebuilding, recognizing what's going on and rebuilding. This is definitely a rebuilding time right now. Another part of grounding is your sounds. And when I talk about your sounds, I talk about your music that you have around you. Is it doof doof music? Is it pop music that you sing to? Is it music that you can dance to that way? I'm not going to say that. What is that music that you have around you? If it's the sounds or anything. If you like music, put it on. If you don't like music, don't put it on. But the sounds of the birds outside, or the sounds of the dogs outside, or the sounds of the people walking. So listen and appreciate those sounds. There's another thing that's going on is your smells. And I'm not talking about the smells. I'm talking about the things that ground you are your smells, your nice smells around you that make you feel uplifted. So what are those smells around you that you can do? You know, I've got some beautiful candles and I love putting a candle on and making nice smells around me. I'm also a perfume freak, and so I love a lot of perfume. So I'm forever putting perfume on, spraying that. I know there's people who use incense. There's a lot of different things. There's also the smell of the outside. You know when it's going to rain here in New Zealand because I can smell that. So what is that smell that brings you that? The other thing is the people. Now, people are really, really, really important. And I'm talking about going into isolation and hibernating from everyone. People are really important. They play a large role on your mood, what you give out, what you take in. So be aware of those people around you. What do they do? Do they uplift you or do they take you down? And it's okay to say to people, I'm just not in the mood to catch up today. It's totally okay. This is your life, your world. So when I talk about feeding your mind, which is the next thing, feeding your mind, feeding yourself with media, TV, whatever it is, movies, radio. These are the people around you that it's wise for you to listen to if it uplifts you, not takes you down. Makes you aware, you can jump in and you can think about things, ask those questions that make you think more. There's some amazing podcasts out there. There's mine, Deliciously Motivated Mindset with Moira and Debz. You're welcome to get on there and listen to ours. There's some YouTubes, there's some great stuff to feed your mind with what's going on right now around you and how to ground yourself. So one of the final things I really love to say is gratitude. And when I talk about gratitude, I talk about be bloody grateful to what you have right now. Because right now you're watching this, you have internet. You have a device that you can connect to the outside world. Be grateful for what you have right now. So I encourage you to, at morning and at night journal. Whether you put it into your phone, whether you write it down. I mean, writing's way more better for your brain to hand. But be grateful. Write those things you're grateful. 3 things in the morning, 3 things at night, and if you feel you're having that wobble and the train's going crazy on you, go, what am I grateful for right now? I'm grateful that my boss said that to me and it's made me think, is this a job for me? I'm grateful that my client said that. I'm grateful that my kids have alerted me to that. So whatever it is, feel that gratitude and embrace that gratitude and journal it. Journal it, journal it, journal it. So I've got this little note here, and this little note says, kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself. And I know all the things I've just talked about as being kind, but please just remember that. Kind, nice, generous, heartfelt, to yourself. Take that one in, because you, as I said, you are important. So please be kind to yourself. Give yourself a break. You've survived through things before. You're here to survive again. And these, grounding is really important too. Just stop, swallow, hand on your heart, and breathe. So thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me here today. I really appreciate your input. I really appreciate knowing if you've joined us live. If you haven't, I love that the sun's come out. I'm going to end this video now. Thank you very much, people, and appreciate what you have and don't have around you. Enjoy the grounding.